Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Rome 2 DEI Divide et Impera here today on the channel. We have a 2 versus 1 multiplayer battle replay between Rome and Scythia allied against the might of Carthage. So if you like the sound of battle replay videos on the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I want to do more battle replays across all Total Wars on the channel. I've already been sent a bunch, but feel free to send me more replays on my Discord linked in the description below. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the multiplayer battle. So the Roman army has pretty much an even split of spears, swordsmen, and archers, while the Scythia allied player is bringing the horse and archer and cavalry for the Roman side. I guess the scenario for this battle is a Punic War conflict between Rome and Carthage, and as Rome lacks decent, well-trained cavalry, they've relied on the Scythian barbarians to help them out in this one with their auxiliary cavalry. Numbers-wise, although it's a 2v1 per man, it is bang smack even. The Carthaginians, their army build consists of a lot of spearmen, really to combat the cavalry that Scythia has. They also do have some elephants as well, which you need to watch out for, and they do have a bunch of mercenary skirmishers, as you'd expect for the Carthaginians. So this is just your stock standard flat land battle, just to make things even. Sometimes the topography of multiplayer battles and in Rome 2 can be a little bit harsh and can give one player or the other some massive bonuses with high ground and whatnot. So it's basically a battle of wits in this one. Who can out-tactic and maneuver the other on this flat battle map and see who can use the best of their units and see who comes out on top. So the Scythia player has made the decision to move his skirmish cav and melee cav on the left-hand side, just to harass and harry the Carthaginian right. Carthage has moved some cavalry up there. Rome has closed the distance on the Carthaginian front line, which is sitting back in a two-line defensive position. Bit of a skirmish out at the moment. Carthage will have skirmisher supremacy. So Rome is moving up some villetes, either to maybe get some shots off if they get close enough, or maybe just to drag away some skirmisher fire as well. Okay, Carthage is rearranging some cavalry on his left, but there could very well be a Roman charge here as he's moving into wedge formation. No, he's just trying to waste some of that Carthaginian ammunition supply. Okay, so it looks like the Carthaginian and Scythia cavalry on this left-hand side have been caught here. There's a bit of a melee out the back. I would be curious to see how well Scythia and Carthage, like their cavalry, stats to stats. 1v1 will do. Okay, so it does look like some of the Roman infantry has now moved up. The Principes and the Astarte are now looking to advance upon the Carthaginian spear wall, as the allied cavalry sit around the back. Carthage is yet to use his elephants just yet, but I imagine he wanted to stop that missile fire coming on in and allowing the Carthaginians to hit him with impunity. But they still seem to be arcing their missile shots really quite well up and over the top of the wall and hitting the bottom half of the Roman front. Scythia did bring up some lighter spears as well, so that should really help out on this right-hand side if you can throw them on in Scythia. And by the look of it, it looks like Scythia might have got the better of the Carthaginian right-hand side there. There is a couple Carthaginian units wavering. Okay, on this left-hand side of the front, the weaker Scythian units are actually going against the lighter armoured Carthaginian front, but it's neck and neck at the moment. Super close, this one. Really hard to call. I don't know the results either, so place your bets. Let me know who you think is going to win in the comments. Either between the might of Rome and their allied Scythian counterparts, or the might of Carthage, the Maritime Kingdom, or Empire rather. But this time around, they don't have any ships to help them out. Okay, so we've got some wavering here from the Romans on their front line. They are really struggling to push through these Principes. They do have some skirmishes of their own, but they don't seem to be trading or as effective as the Carthaginians. They've also thrown in some of their own cavalry here. So looking at the balance of power in the bottom left, still a 50-50 at the moment. Yeah, I'm curious to see who wins this one, because obviously it's a 2v1. The Carthaginian player will need to micro a lot harder than the two others, because there's two of them. But so far, I think they, army builds wise, is quite even. Mostly swordsmen with the Romans, while the Scythia player has the cavalry and the Carthaginian player has the spear. So, like, looking over it, it's very, very equal. Oh, here we go. So the Carthaginian player has actually finally moved his elephants into battle after patiently waiting for the majority of the battle. But he actually seems to be pulling them out here after getting a light, little high-octane blitzkrieg charge on in. Nah, but he's probably lost that left-hand side position, Carthage. Okay, there's another battle. Small little conflict breaking out here. Oh my god. And the Carthaginian swordsmen are really trying to push back the Roman offensive. Havoc is reeking and crying out over the front line. It's all got done in over by a somersault, as Rome is still struggling to push and advance and break through that decent Carthage defensive position. He even seems to be wrapping around some Carthaginian spears. And although he's lost on that right-hand side, he seems to be alright. Okay, this is quite close. 3 Roman units are wavering to the Carthaginian 1. And now some skirmishers are starting to hit their very heavy Scythian cavalry. And they seem to be doing a hell of a job, these Carthaginian slingers. But it has been an absolute decimation on this front line. Carthage is held so well, mostly in the center. The flanks have crippled quite a bit. So he's still got his elephants in play, which is huge, and a lot of cavalry. So it's going to be interesting to see who can edge this one out, as it is currently 75% to 30 in the balance of power. Okay, so the elephants are now getting chucked on in. Hopefully they can have a venomous charge. And it seems quite solid. You'd imagine as well, because he's kept them in reserve. These guys have a huge amount of health and hit points at the moment. So they're going to be able to stay in combat for a lot longer than what you would think. We've got some units routing here. And Scythia, although they've done well, they've just lost a lot of units in the process. They might have just lost too many in the end. Rome seems to be only holding in a few pockets here in the center. It's still neck and neck as Rome advances. Furthermore, my god, got some chaotic cinematics there. But it seems like the Carthaginian spears, the Sacred Band in their defensive position, are probably going to win on this one out. as, yeah, Carthage has managed to hold and reclaim most of the right centre there. Now that we've got some elephants coming on in just to finish off the last of these Astarte and Principes. They just couldn't break through the Romans, unfortunately. Although the Scythians did well in flanking, they just traded too much, so it was ended in a close Carthaginian victory. So let's go through the stats. Also a big shout out to the multiplayer players in this battle who were in the replay. So Carthage deployed 6,652, losing just over 2,000, getting 4,430 kills in the process. Rome deployed 3,800, getting 1,000 kills, 2.4k losses. Scythia deployed 2,800, lost 2,000, and got 1.2 kills. So Scythia got slightly more kills than the Romans. Looking at Carthage, 200 kills for the elephants. The cavalry actually traded quite well. Wow, look at the skirmishers there. They really carried those slingers, nearly 100 apiece. And then we got some Carthaginian swordsmen, 250 on one of them, crikey. And then most of the spearmen there, just holding that defensive position with the shield wall, 280, 380. They really started racking up those kills. Scythia-wise as well, like I said, they did trade quite well, 160 each. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I want to be doing more battle replays across all Total Wars on the channel, alongside my campaign series. So I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already left the video a like and a comment, supported it. So that lets me know you want to see more. So without further ado, I'm going to play the outro. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C, and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.